What's going on, everybody? Tyler Croft here with TAC Fitness, and we're trying this again. I'm not great at this whole YouTube thing, but you know, fourth time's a charm. Let's see what happens. Starting back, we're actually going to be going over a movement tutorial for Movement Mondays. And of course, what better movement to bring this channel back from the dead than the deadlift? A couple of different reasons why I chose the deadlift for the next movement in the series is one, I just love the deadlift. It's one of my favorite movements. Second reason is I actually have a friend who is struggling with her deadlift at the moment. And for whatever reason, our schedules just don't seem to be lining up to where I can actually help her in person. So hopefully she can watch this video, take something away from it, hit some awesome PR. She's really strong, and I just think with some proper guidance, some proper technique fixes, she could be pulling some massive weight in no time whatsoever. First thing in the deadlift that we're going to be going over is the stance. Now, I didn't really get any footage of different stances, mainly because I'm covering conventional in this video. And for a lot of people, they seem to want to put their feet out a little bit wider. Now, I'm not really sure why this is. I kind of like to just have around shoulder width, nothing too wide, nothing too narrow. Think about the position where you could produce the most amount of force in a vertical jump. That's kind of where you want your feet to be on a deadlift, at least in my opinion. Now, once you have a comfortable stance, the next thing that we're gonna do is look down at the bar and see where the bar is in relation to our bodies. We wanna make sure that the bar is kind of just splitting our feet perfectly in half. We don't want it too close to us because then our shins aren't gonna have anywhere to go. And if it's too far out in front of us, it's gonna be too far away from our center of mass to be able to actually lift it effectively. That's an important fact to remember. The further a weight is from your center of mass, which is your spine, then the harder the movement is going to be. Think of a back squat versus a front squat. A front squat, you're moving the weight further out in front of you versus being directly over your back, which is what actually, or one of the things that actually makes the movement harder. Now, once that bar is actually splitting your feet in half, you're going to just bend over and grab the bar. Now, I don't care at this moment in time, I don't care if you're doing a mixed grip, I don't care if you're doing a double overhand, whatever position you feel the most comfortable. Personally, I like to pull with a mixed grip, that's just me. But if the weights are light enough, then I will go a double overhand. Realistically, it's whatever hand position allows you to pack your lats tighter. That's the one that you really want to go with. It's also very important that during the entire process of setting up for this deadlift, that you do not move the bar. Now, I'm not going to sit here and copy Alan Thrall's video and yell at you to do not move the barbell. If you want to hear that, go watch his video. I'm not doing it on mine. Pretty sure that would be copyright infringement. Moving on. Now, once you actually have the bar in your hands, without moving the bar, I want you to slowly start dropping your hips and bending at your knees until your shins come into contact with the bar. I don't want your shins to actually push the bar out over your toes or out in front of you, because remember, that's going to make the movement more difficult because the weight is further out in front of you. All we're looking for is your shins to just tap the bar. Just a little love tap, and then stop. Once we're in this super flattering position, the last thing we need to think about is what's going on with our upper back. Now, I don't care if you think about lifting your sternum up nice and tall. I don't care if you think about taking your shoulder blades and stuffing them into your back pockets. I don't care if you think about something as simple as just covering up your armpits. The end result is the same. You're flexing your lats and you're retracting your shoulder blades in order to finish engaging every aspect of your core to keep your spine as safe as possible. The reason that last step is so important is actually because it's pulling the slack out of the bar. If you ever notice, like on some of the gym fails where dudes are like ego lifting and throwing a bunch of weight onto a bar and they're just going down and trying to grip it and rip it, a lot of the times the weight will actually just start bouncing all over the place. The bar will just start flexing and whipping, and that just throws everything off. And that's going to, one, it's a good way to get hurt, and two, it's a great way to miss a lift. You'll know you're in a really good position if, one, it's uncomfortable. I promise you, this is not a comfortable position to be in. Comfortable does not necessarily mean safe. This is a very strict position that's going to help keep your spine as safe as possible. And then two, if the weight's light enough, so like a plate, or maybe like a 25-pound bumper plate, if you're not that strong, you'll know you're in a really good position because the weight will actually start to hover above the ground. And finally, the most important step and the most important cue that you need to remember when you're going for this pull: don't poop your pants. And of course, the final step for the deadlift is to stand up. Now, some thoughts on programming. For the deadlift, I gotta say it honestly, it depends on what your particular goal is. With any exercise, it depends on what your goal is. But I would say for the deadlift, if your goal is maximal force production or strength, then I would definitely keep the reps and sets fairly low, probably somewhere in that 5 to 6 rep range, or a 3 to 5 rep range, and just week to week gradually increasing the weight, probably sticking somewhere around like an RP of 7 to start your cycle out, and then just gradually over time increasing to an RP of 10. If your goal is more so for hypertrophy or muscle building, depending on the variation, then I would probably stick that in a rep range of, as I'd probably say, somewhere of like a 5 to 10 rep range. Just because of how fatiguing the deadlift as a movement can be, you definitely don't want to overdo it or overreach, especially in those early stages of a new cycle. That being said, if you guys are still confused as to what variation of the deadlift to actually use, what rep range to use it in, or anything like that, do remember I do offer personalized programming. Just contact me at tyler_croft@yahoo.com and we can get something set up with that. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that YouTube stuff that I gotta tell you to do. And yeah, go follow me on my Instagram, on my Facebook and TikTok and things like that. It's fun over there. Links down below. But that is the deadlift video. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. Hope you took something away from it that you can actually apply to your own training. Take what's useful, disregard what's not. To my friend who this video is actually intended for, I hope you took a lot of information away and that you can apply this to your training as well. Again, I'm hoping to see some amazing numbers coming from you. I think you could probably pull 350 without any issue whatsoever. Until next time, guys, go out, do something. Dude, do you have to do that with the squeak toy during my video? We made it all the way through. Until next time, guys, go out, do something awesome, live your life to the fullest, and I'll see you in the next video.